Ciao, ciao, Victoria Howard here, helping you find and move into work that fits you, the real you. Let's talk about how to deal with a toxic workplace that nobody wants to be in, nobody wants to be dealing with, but far too many people experience it. My first piece of advice would be, if you can, get out. Get out, give yourself space and time to just decompress, let it all just wash off you. Investing in yourself so that you can recover from this experience. Now, this is probably not possible for a lot of people, but if it is, that is my best option. I'm thinking about somebody I know who had a really tough time in the workplace. It was definitely under the umbrella of toxic, and they decided to just leave and go and do a ski season for 5 or 6 months. So this was something they'd wanted to do. They totally didn't know what would be on the other side of it, but just knew they needed to get out of it. And by getting out, they then actually went back into the same industry, but in a different area, in a different company, etc. So were able to salvage their career, if you like, by getting out, putting a stop to it, recovering, and then moving into something new. Now, if that's not possible for you, here are my tips. I look at it in 3 phases. There's phase 1, which is survive, phase 2, which is recover, and phase 3, which is rebuild. So while you're in this job and you can't leave it immediately, you need to look at ways to help you survive it. And I would say much of this is going to be done outside of the workplace, outside of the job. So investing in anything, any sort of therapies that help you, that enable you to get some stuff out of your system to cope with what's going on. So you're just purely looking at surviving and coping. May also be things like investing in stuff that you love to do, so that when you come back on the Monday morning, there's like your tank has been topped up a little bit and you've got enough energy. Number 2, the phase 2, which is recover. This is where you really need to give yourself some space. So, for example, the very limited amount of space you could hopefully give yourself would be to take some time off. Maybe it's a day, maybe it's a few days, maybe it's a week. And this is not about going on holiday. This is just about giving yourself some space outside of the survival environment, outside of doing stuff, outside of having to have tasks, chores to attend to really allow what's happening to come to the surface, so you can start to feel things, observe things, understand what the effect is on you, and have some space to pursue maybe some different options, to investigate, explore those. And then if you're able to, maybe you can find some different type of work to do. Maybe it's the same work but somewhere else, just moving so you can move role to give yourself time to recover, and then maybe assess what you want to do next. You could also do something like maybe take a sabbatical, just take some time out. This is where it's about space, just expanding your the world that you live in, so it is beyond work. And I found, since I left corporate life, it's amazing. It's like having these wings, like, oh, I've got some things that move and they just want to expand and spread out because I've got the room to do that. Whereas before it was just like in a straitjacket, like just like a robot. So basically, recovery is about give yourself space. And then we move on to phase 3, which is rebuild. And then this is where you want to get very strategic. This is where you know, okay, I've got my survival tactics in place. I'm giving myself some space to do this recovery work somehow. And now I'm going to get really strategic and rebuild myself and rebuild my career. So this is where you explore your career options. Is this toxic workplace indicative of being in an environment that's not right for you? Is it about the leadership? Is it about the actual job itself? Is it about the people? What is it that is really out of alignment? And then from there, you are exploring the options then that are available to you. So maybe it's, actually, I love doing this stuff, but I need to go somewhere else. Or actually the environment, the organization is wrong. Although I like doing this stuff, my job, so I need to go and find another organization. Or maybe you're just like, oh, scrap the whole lot. I need to just raze it to the ground and find something else to do, because none of this is in alignment. And therefore, because none of it's in alignment, none of it is going to make you happy, and you are not going to be fulfilled. So, in summary, get out if you can. If not, invest in recovery, and invest in space, invest in the survival, and at the right moment, invest in rebuilding. And I promise you, if you move to the investing in rebuilding, it will take pressure off where you are. It will enable you to do some of the survival and the recovery, because you're getting your agency back, you're taking back control, and you can then start to see a way out of where you are that is expansive, that isn't then constrictive and forcing you down a path you don't want to go. I hope that helps. Speak to you soon. Ciao for now.